Before we dive in, a quick shout out to the community that makes this possible. This show is brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network, a space where everyone is heard, loved and welcomed. To support the creators and find your next favourite show, please visit yourunpodcast.com.
You want to die tonight?
Late at night, I tune into your show, where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in, as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long roundups. You run podcast, horror movie review, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled. You run podcast. You run podcast.
Hello and welcome aboard the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
We are your hosts each and every Tuesday. As
You should have gone with "We Are Your Captains." You should have kept it going, man.
I bottled it too early. We're your hosts as we bring you brand new horror movie reviews every single Tuesday, selected by you because we are the only interactive horror movie podcast in the entire world. Whew, that was a lot. You can also get early drops of this show on our Patreon. We'll talk about that later on. It's patreon.com/You Run Podcast, but you get the whole episode about a week early. We've got a great episode lined up today. We are going to give you a review. But before we do that, we're going to give you our scores, a brief synopsis, then full spoilers into everything we liked, everything we hated, which I'm hoping this week isn't a lot. I'm hoping we liked everything this week.
I think so. I'd be shocked to see you pull this movie apart. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm not pulling it apart. There's nothing wrong with it. After that, we're going to give a brief roundup. We'll check our scores because sometimes we review a movie and we go, actually, do you know what? I scored it high, but it was shit. Then we're going to do some interactive features like 3-word review. We're going to be playing a game. The game this week is interesting. It's all about boats. What's your boat knowledge like?
I'm sure you probably already know the answer to this, but it's very limited. Unless it's the Titanic, I'm probably about done. My knowledge of the Titanic is very limited.
How's your sea legs? Are they okay?
I have no sea legs. I can't do boats. I remember we went on our honeymoon when we did a little bit of traveling around Greece, and we were island hopping, and you had to go from island to island. And obviously, the only way to go from island to island was by a little ferry bus thing. And we went on one. I think it was like maybe the 4th or 5th day. We were going from, I think, maybe Naxos to Mykonos. Giving you way too much detail here. Anyway, the tide was rough, dude. And every single person on the ferry boat was just being violently sick. It was the most awful experience I've ever had.
Were you in with the people who were being sick?
No, I was all right. I managed to not actually physically be sick. I was there like, the boat's like proper bobbing up and down. And I didn't be sick. My wife, she was a mess. She was being sick everywhere and all those little sick bag things that you get. And it was awful. And I remember once we went on the ferry to Amsterdam and that was incredibly violent as well. And I didn't like that. But I'm not much of a sick person, I tend to get like the feeling of it, but never actually committing to it. Just because I don't like it, I can tend to fight it off. But anyway, the point is, I'm not very good on boats.
Okay, I'm all right on boats. We done a stag do, 10 years ago, and we went on a mini cruise, and the mini cruise went through the Bay of Biscay, and it was in October, and the weather was bad. I think there was 9 decks on the ship, and the water was coming up to deck 6 as it was hitting the waves.
Wow.
And we were stood in the bar, and as it sort of dips, we were playing the game where you jump. So as the boat goes down, you jump, and you went like 4.5, 5 foot in the air and then hit the deck. And
that sounds like a really dangerous game.
It was, we were all like this was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd all been drinking since lunchtime. We were steaming drunk, and it was like jump. And then when someone jumps, you pushed them to see how far you could send them across this. It was a fucking disaster. Like, we're all bumped and bruised and fucking like cuts on above eyes and pissed out of our head. And the barman sliding up and down the bar as the boat's going. He's like, I think you lads have had enough. No, we'll have some shots. It'll be fine. You've probably guessed already, but this week we're diving into another listener-picked movie. This is Ghost Ship, otherwise known as Shining on a Boat, from 2002. The film follows a salvage crew led by Gabriel Byrne as they're recruited to go and collect a ship floating in the Bering Strait, which I'd done a bit of digging on the Bering Strait. No one wants to go there, not ever. On arrival, the ragtag crew kind of, I don't know, they're better suited to the Fast and the Furious than they are to this movie. But they get set making to work on the vessel to bring it to shore. Little did they know when they were boarding that it's no ordinary cruise liner. No. This is the scene of the coolest opening in all of horror, the keeper of some of the most legendary early 2000s breast, and the location of Carl Urban's first cinematic real outing. I'll be honest, I didn't have great memories of this movie. And when I went into it, I was a bit like, oh, it's Ghost Ship. It's going to be a bit meh. But it's really good. Like, I didn't realize people hated it as much as they did until I put like three-word review and stuff out. And everyone who hates this needs their head examining. They need to go and rewatch it.
Well, yeah, it's watch for most people.
Yeah, it is genuinely The Shining on a boat. And it comes with all the cool shit that comes with that, without the really long runtime and without the dark, horrible feeling that The Shining leaves you with. Like, it's great. It's 88 minutes full of jumps and gore and a really nice pair of breasts. It's heavily flawed at every single turn. The plot is stupid. Everything is ridiculous. And I loved it. Like, I genuinely had a blast. I'm really excited to talk about this. It is a 3.5 out of 5 from me.
Brilliant score. For me, I'm going to score it higher because I love this movie. I think this is about as great as a B movie can be with a high budget. I don't think it's one of those movies you can watch regularly because I don't think it holds up too well on regular repeats. I think it's one of those movies where you watch it, you put it on a shelf, and then you revisit 5 or 6 years down the line, because then you tend to forget, oh, Carl Urban's in this. Oh, Gabriel Byrne is in this. Oh, Desmond Harrington's in this. And then you remember some of the plot points as you're going along and the twist endings and stuff. I mean, it's hard not to forget the cold open. You mentioned that it's the coolest in horror. I tend to disagree with that statement, and it really annoys me when I tend to see it regularly pop up on Instagram as the best opening in horror. That's bullshit. I think Scream does a better job with the original Drew Barrymore. I think Zombieland's cold open is far superior to what Ghost Ship does. I mean, yeah, it's cool, and yeah, the shock value was there at the time, but it's still pretty weak in my opinion. So as far as cold opens go, this isn't the best, and it's certainly not going to be reflective of my score in terms of, well, it's got a really cool open, because for me, I disagree, and I don't think it is that great. Yeah, it sets up the tone of the movie pretty well, but it doesn't necessarily leave me with that impact of, oh, that was groundbreaking. So that's my first very controversial take on Ghost Ship. However, I love this movie. I think it's filled with great action set pieces, and it does tend to blend the genre of horror and action, which was very popular at the time, very, very well. Similar veins to sort of like Anaconda and things like that. I love the core cast. I think they do a very good job of establishing each individual personality of all the characters within the group. And I think there is a lot of serious moments in this film that tension building works incredibly well, which surprised me a lot on this watch. There was moments where, because I haven't seen this in such a long time, I tended to forget who died where and things like that. So as these moments were creeping up, and I knew there was obviously ominous things lurking around every corner, I was genuinely worried for certain characters that I liked as we were going along. The ending is brilliant. When you start getting all the reveals and stuff like that, they dive so much into things that really isn't warranted for a movie of this level, in my opinion. So I think a lot of people typecast this movie as just a throwaway popcorn shit show. And I think that's a really unfair comment to make towards Ghost Ship. And I'll be honest with you, I've been very guilty of doing so in the past myself, because it's one of those movies that for my own personal reasons, I don't visit very regularly, because the enjoyment I get of going back to it after a long period of time is so much better. You know, I remember when I first was introduced to this movie, I'd watch it every year or so, and I'm like, yeah. But then I did a thing of leaving it for such a long period of time and going back and be like, yes, brilliant, that was so cool, I forgot about that. So I think that's the best way to experience Ghost Ship. And on all the people out there criticizing it and calling it out, I think it's unwarranted and unjust, because it is just an enjoyable popcorn movie that certainly upgrades itself better than most within the genre of what it is. So for me, I'm going to step mine up a bit more than yours, and I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5.
Those are incredible scores for a 2002 B movie.
I think so. And I think they're very deserving of it as well, though.
Yeah, I do as well. And I also want to apologize to everyone in advance. I have a bit of a cold. I sound a little bit nasally. My notes, I can't quite read them right because my eyes are a little bit watery. So, yeah, this episode may be a bit rough. I'm just pre-warning everyone.
Diddums.
You're such a prick.
Man, get up, you know what I mean?
On that note.
Yo. Grab a cold one, kick back and turn it up loud. The 3 class clowns are back to draw a crowd. From the honking legends to the stories in the dust. Crack a window, settle in. In crust we trust, it's the news that's weird and the takes that are wrong. The unintelligent broadcast you wanted all along. Don't toss the leftovers, don't leave a single scrap. It's the Krusty Boys anthem, now put it on the map.
Turn the dial back, let the memories play. From the blockbuster hits to the VHS graves. Pop culture reflections, a journey in time, where the 80s and 90s are still in their prime. With Justin at the mic, we're diving deep into horror flicks and the secrets they keep. From the ring to the charts, every legend and star reflect on the icons of who we all are. That's who we all are.
Make sure you go to yourunpodcast.com. There you will find links to every single, they're not even links, you'll find pages to every single member of the You Run Podcast Network. You can listen to all their episodes there, or you can follow their links to their YouTube and their social media and all the other cool things they do. You'll also find links to all of our shows. You'll also find links to all of our social media at You Run Podcast, absolutely everywhere. We're literally everywhere. Instagram is where you go if you want to vote on movies to end up on the show. TikTok is where you go if you want to see me do silly things on camera. Twitter's where you go if you want to see me annoy people. And yeah, there's a mix of stuff everywhere else. Make sure you go and do all of that. But most importantly, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/You Run Podcast. There you get early access to this show almost a whole week early. You also get exclusive episodes and brand new shows like You Run Extra, where me and Mark go on tangents about, well, everything. The one we're going to record after we've done this, it's all about Patrick Wilson.
The weakest picked fucking category we've done on Patreon yet.
Oh, I don't know. I think we've got enough to dissect with Patrick Wilson. He's quite an interesting
yeah.
guy.
I can rant my way through that, don't you worry. But yeah, we've had epic stuff. We've done Lord of the Rings. We've done Dexter. We've done Star Wars. You know, we've had some fucking quality picked topics to dive into on Patreon.
Yeah, but
now we're doing Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, but if you want to hear about Patrick Wilson, go and sign up to our Patreon.
Yeah, that's really poor advertisement on my part. I do apologize.
Yeah, thanks for that. Well done. Well done. This is why you don't do marketing.
This is very true.
Also on there, you get early access to true crime. You get early access to Voices of the You Run podcast and a whole host of other exclusives and other cool stuff as well. So go and support us there. One of the other things you can do for us is you can tell a friend about the show. Leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. Comment wherever we are, whether it's a post, whether it's a clip of the show. Comment, because that, again, pushes our content out to more people. And that has been your advertisement for this week. I don't like doing advertisements. I know they need to be done, but yeah. Let's talk about something else.
There be treasure.
This cold open. You said you don't think it's that great. Mate, this cold
no, it's not that I don't think it's that great. It's all right. Do you know what I mean?
All right. There is more people killed in the opening of this movie than the entirety of the Halloween franchise. Like,
Yeah.
more people die in this moment in better ways than the whole of the Halloween
No,
franchise.
no. And if you think about it logically, it doesn't stack up. Like
Oh,
the
no,
way some of these people are killed, especially the captain as well.
the
You know what I
wire,
mean?
it comes across and it's at waist level, which would decapitate the little girl, and then somehow like it lops just like one arm off someone, then it cuts someone clean in half, then it takes someone's like the captain like through his mouth, and of like there's no consistency to how that cable twanged. It just kind of like went everywhere and cut people into lots of pieces. It's cool, but
Yeah, like right, it's cool. And I'm not, do you know what the problem is with it? Is the fandom of horror in general have ruined it in terms of how much they glorify it. That's what my issue is with it, because then that makes me overanalyze it, and overanalyzing it makes me realize that it's not as great as some of the other cold opens in horror movies out there. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. I'm not dissing on this in particular because it is very cool, you know. But my issue is that people turn around and say, this is the greatest horror has to offer. I'm like, no, it's not, you know, not even close. There is so many movies out there that have better cold opens than this, you know, and that's just one of the things that I have to say about it. But I do like it. I especially like the aftermath of it, of the certain individual characters who do get wired, like the one guy who's like reaching up, even though it pans out and his arm's not even attached to his body, but he's still reaching up. And the lady who tries to pull herself back together, that one's really, really cool.
She makes me laugh where she'd laying there, she looks to her side and sees like her legs there, and she like grabs them, tries to drag her back over. I'm like, oh, that's not going to work. That's really sad.
Yeah, it's really, really sad, you know. And the thing is as well, like your body does go into shock in situations like that. So there is a time period between the actual accident itself and the brain capacity and movement before you die. Unless you get your spinal column severed at a certain height. Which again, you know, people are dying and getting chopped at certain points, but still moving. And I'm like, no, you've severed your spinal column that connects to your brain to the point that you were instantly dead. There is no movement in you whatsoever now. There's no twitching. There's nothing. So I overanalyze it because of people. So people are to blame. However, it is a very cool thing.
It is. The original plan for that was to decapitate everyone, just literally take them all off at the neck. And the studio went, no, like we're going to have so many problems trying to get that like approved to get.
That seems a lot more simpler than the way they did go about it, and less graphic, in my opinion.
Well, no, apparently the plan was for it to go across, and then you watch all the heads go, and then they were going to do like fountains of blood out of all of the bodies as they fell, which I think sounds cool. But yeah, raises questions for the MPAA and the other bodies that need to look at it.
Some lady pulling her body back together with her intestines spilled all over the floor is somehow
that's
less.
fine. Yeah, that's
right.
fine.
Okay. Just so I understand what's okay and what's not.
The thing is, though, the opening of this is really weird. Like, if you've never seen this movie before, but you've seen clips of it, you don't expect to go into this 1960s captain's dinner party. And it really gets you, it put me sort of off what I was expecting. So I was like, oh, shit, right, okay. And then, oh, right, okay, yeah, we're here. And then it switches, like the switch from this cold open to modern day times. And it is literally a Fast and the Furious style scene where you meet the crew and they're dragging this fucking massive tanker that's sinking, and you've got Epps who's like, they're like, oh, it's going to sink, it's going to drag the tugboat under. Let's cut it loose, and then you get this like fucking cables going across, and she's like across and jumps down and like welds it all, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is so
really cool. Really cool. I don't know whether it's factually accurate and there are salvage crews out there who do this shit. I can only assume there is multiple documentaries on Discovery Channel of people doing this as a career.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will look fucking awesome. And I was like, that is a really, really cool job.
It really cool. You and me would be great at that job.
Not me particularly, because I don't do boats.
No, but you'd be great at going and doing all the stupid shit. You'd be like, yeah, I'll save it.
I'll go down with the ship. You know, I'd definitely be the one trying to dive in and weld it together, even though it was sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
I'd be the one in the control and go, Mark, don't do that. Don't do that, Mark. Mark, don't do that. No, he's done it. And Gabriel Byrne, like, where the fuck does this sit in his filmography? At what point did he go, Yeah, I'll do Ghost Boat. That's a good idea.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he had that weird time in his career where he did this. It was Gabriel Byrne in End of Days as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, awesome film.
Yeah,
Love that film.
awesome film. Yeah, he did a couple of weird films because this was like, in all honesty, this was like the decline of Gabriel Byrne's career. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't until, and then probably after this, he just fell off the ship completely. It was only the resurgence through his career and for his appearance in Hereditary that sort of brought him back, I think.
Yeah, maybe this was the one that sunk him.
I think so.
They go into the bar at the end and they're celebrating with all their money, and this is where you get the most on-the-nose character ever with Ferryman. And there's a fact about Ferryman I'll share in a minute, but Ferryman comes in, he's like, I do like charters in the North Sea. I found this boat. I know it's still there. We could all make a fortune. No, I want 20%. And Gabriel Byrne's like, can I have a moment with my crew? And sends him away. But he sends him like 6 foot away, and they have a really loud conversation like he's not there, like he's not listening.
Yeah.
It is so fucking like in the shot where they're arguing about whether they should take the job, you can still see him looking at them. I'm like, this is the most uncomfortable shit ever.
But again, it's this particular scene that highlights how great the writing is in this movie, and the point that we don't deserve the exposition that we gain from this conversation, but we get it anyway. And this is where we learn about every single individual character and their reasoning why they can't go on this journey. One of them's getting married, or so and so, so and so. It's like, do we really need to do this? I've got obligations that I need to get back for. And you learn, oh, well, he's getting married. He's got a wife at home. He's got children at home. He needs to get back and see his wife and kids, you know, and it all comes together within just a brief 30-second monologue, whether or not they should take the job. And that's all I needed from all of these characters as well. I was like, that was clever. You did that so seamlessly, and it's told me so much already.
Yeah, it's a really good scene for filling in blanks, but it just made me laugh that he's just stood there almost like a naughty kid waiting for the adults to make a decision. Jack Ferryman is effectively a soul collector, and he's named after the ferryman in... he's named after the ferryman in Greek mythology who would take you from one side of the river to the other, the river Styx, and he'd ferry the bodies from the real world into Hades. So he's a demon that ferries souls to the dead, and it's so on the nose to call him ferryman. And I noticed it this time. I was like,
See, I didn't pick up on that at all, to be honest with you, even now.
When I watched it, I was like, if only I was cleverer when I was younger. If only I knew things when I was like 20. I'd have had a different experience.
But the wildest thing is, and again, this is why I'm saying, let this film breathe before you revisit it. I completely forgot that Desmond Harrington was a bad guy. Like, I knew in my subconsciousness somewhere, I was very skeptical of his character, but I fully forgot the reveal of him at the end. And even more so, the closing credit sequence.
The closing
where they're loading the hoverboat back up again. I was like, shit, that's so fucking cool.
That is arguably better than the opening. That end moment.
I think so, yeah, I think so. And the new metal rock music starts playing and they're just ferrying on the tubs of gold again. I'm like, it's a repeating cycle. You didn't win, bitch.
you lost. It's good. They go out to go and find this boat, and it's appearing on radar, then it's not, then it's back, then it's not. And they full on crash into it. And I was like, okay, you found it now. They go on the boat and they go to start nosying around. They leave 3 people on the tugboat and the rest of them go nosying around the ship. The woman who plays Epps, the action-packed, like the final girl. So when she signed on for this was a psychological thriller about what happens when you are greedy and you just want too much. By the time she got off the plane in Australia, the script had changed into what it is now. And in her words, suddenly I was in a really awful horror movie and it was shocking, but it was too late for me to back out. I was contractually obliged.
I don't know much about this actress, other than I'm assuming she's in ER. That's the only thing I can go with, is like she's in like Grey's Anatomy or some shit like that.
Yeah, she's in ER. She's ER lady. She was a doctor in ER. I never watched. I watched ER when George Clooney was in it for probably 1 season, and that's it.
Dude, you're old.
Yes, we know. I don't like the ghost girl. I'm going to say it now. She annoys me. And I know she shouldn't, but she's just annoying. I want my ghost children to be like they are in The Shining, scary. Not just like this ghost girl's trying to help him. And I don't know.
Yeah,
She
she's
just
an innocent though, isn't she?
yeah, but she bugs the shit out of me. And I don't know why. She shouldn't, but she does.
Do you know what I find infuriating about movies like this? When you're surrounded by American actors and actresses and things like that, and then you put in a British character, especially a British child, who has the most southern British, posh, Victorian English accent, and it just stands out like a sore thumb. And I'm saying that as a British person as well. I'm like, you're annoying me. Why are you annoying me?
And I think maybe that's what it is. It's the contrast in tone with her and the others. I do like the way they use her, like the way they use her initially with like these quick flashes, like where fucking Carl Urban falls through the roof and he's dangling above the ballroom and Epps dives through to save him. Another cool scene.
Yeah.
And then she looks up and the ghost girl's just there. And then they get dragged back in and she's like sticking her head back down and the ghost girl's gone. Like that is how you use a ghost.
Yeah.
You see it, then it's not there. And they do that a lot in this. And I like that. I like that a lot.
See, that's the thing. There's one thing that I always remember about why I keep off this movie so much, because it's very similar to another movie that I really like.
Event Horizon.
No, but like even more similar than that, and it's called Triangle.
Yeah, great film.
And I always get the two confused, and they do have very similar plot points. Apart from at the end, it turns out that the little girl is actually the main character, and she's seeing herself in a time loop sort of thing. But you have that sort of thing here where you start seeing the little girl pop up, but whereas in Triangle, she's actually seeing herself pop up in a Groundhog Day kind of thing. And I always get the two confused over a long period of time and not going back to either of them. But that's where my issue lied with this little girl is in the start. Because I'm like, gosh, does it turn out to be her? Does it turn out to be herself? And she's seeing it and she died in the past. And then, you know, I had one of those really bizarre headfuck moments within the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie.
Gabrielle Byrne, I'm going to say it now, is a bad leader. So they decide.
I don't know. I disagree.
Right. They decide they're going to tow this ship, right? They're going to tow this ship back to land. They broke their ship when they crashed into the big boat. They broke their tugboat. So he turns around to whatever his name is, the guy who does the engines. And the guy, he's like, I need you to fix the boat. He's like, I have not got the tools here to fix the boat. Like, we need to do this, we need to do that. Like, we need to go and come back because I can't fix it to be able to tug this boat. And Gabriel Byrne's
do you think they could tug that boat anywhere?
Yeah, you can. Tugboats will tug things that size. That's exactly what a tugboat's designed to do.
Right. Okay. Because my interpretation of it was like, that's a really small boat and that's a really big ocean liner. I just don't see how this is going to work.
Once it gets going, you'll be fine. But yeah, Gabriel Byrne's response is, I don't give a fuck. Go fix the boat. And I'm like, oh, dude, you're just such a bad person. And like the same with the others. It's like, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And they're all giving reasons why it can't be done that way. It's like, just go do it. Like, don't give me problems. Give me solutions.
But the thing is, right, you say that, but I think he earns his right to be able to be that kind of leader because he's so fair. You know, he's like, and that again is established very early on in the conversation in the bar where they're like, everything is split evenly. That's how this works. It's an even split. So basically he's saying, I say jump and you say how high, and we all share everything equally. You know, he's a fair captain in that perspective, and he just wants them all to do their job, you know. And bearing in mind, the guy who's maintaining the engine, this is probably the first time he's actually had to do anything to earn his paycheck.
This is true. And by doing that, he dies.
Well, no.
Yes.
No,
he
didn't die from doing his job. He died because
the ghost
and shit.
The ghost killed him by fucking with the engine and making it explode.
Well, no, they turned the gas on, didn't they? It was like a Final Destination moment where they turned the cooker on. There was nothing he did wrong. He fixed the engine. He said, turn it on. But then as he went to turn the key, he realized that the ghost had come in and turned on the fucking Vin Diesel's nitrous bottle for the boat, and it blew up.
Yeah, and you know when you get the little girl going, no, like shouting, the ghost girl shouting no.
Who rugby tackles her off?
It's Ferryman. Did you not spot it was Ferryman?
No, I didn't. No,
Yeah, it's Ferryman who you
I thought
only
it was the captain.
no, you get a brief. It's a brief glimpse, and most people think that she fell or that she
No,
faded.
I saw that she was rugby tackled, but it was like somebody. It looked like he was in white. To be honest with you, I mean, it might have been the fireman's jacket that he was wearing throughout, but I thought it was the captain who had took her out.
No, it's Ferryman. He takes her out and takes her right off the boat as well into the water.
Yeah,
Like,
but
he
the
takes her
ghosts.
exactly. They're ghosts. It's fine. So now they're stuck on the ghost ship and they start to hallucinate. This, like, from here, it's like this weird. It definitely goes into the Shining territory, like the lady in the red dress luring
Love
Greer.
her.
I said it twice in the opening about her breasts, and I'm going to
She's
say
magnificent specimen of a woman.
uh,
The only
and
way you could describe her to somebody who has never seen Ghost Ship is imagine a French Marilyn Monroe.
yeah, and to her credit, not only does she have a cracking rack, but she is actually a really good actress as well. She plays the ghost bit really well, and then when we start getting the flashbacks, and she's like a major ninja assassin who's stealing all the gold, she's cool as shit there as well. I think she's fabulous.
Yeah, really, really good in this.
I like Greer as well. Greer's reasoning as he's being lured by the ghost woman, he's like, "No, I'm going to be faithful. I'm going to be faithful." Well, if you're a ghost, like,
This
is it
isn't real.
is it even cheating? Like, and like he's like talking himself into it. And I was watching it with Lisa. I went, "Is it cheating if it's a ghost?" And she went, "If the ghost looks like that, I tell you what, I'll let you."
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to him, he was making logical choices that I couldn't argue with. I was like, yeah, man, you do you. I think you're making the right choice here.
Yeah, the only wrong choice he made was where he lunged for her. He was a bit too eager.
Yeah, this is it. This is the message here. Don't be too grabby.
Yeah, don't be too grabby, because he literally like lunged to grab her breasts and falls straight through her and down to his death. And what a way to go, like on those spikes. And I like her where she's like, oh, as if to say, "Oh, you're so shit," and like saunters away. Brilliant.
But turns into like a weird granny at the time. And I'm like, this is where you start pulling apart the logic in what this movie is. I'm like, ghosts don't age. Otherwise, the little girl wouldn't look like she looked. So you clearly just use that as an effect for dramatic purposes.
To be just like The Shining.
Yeah, I'm not the Shining guy, dude. I know you love it, but it's okay. It's okay, but you really need to get over it. It's not that good.
Gabriel Byrne going on the piss with the captain's entertaining.
Yeah, and again, the writing throughout, hinting at his problem with drink and stuff, was really cool. And it just blows my mind at how good the writing is in this movie, and I'm really in awe of it because I paid attention to it this time because I had to, and I'm like, that's really clever, you know. And it builds, and it does so many moments throughout this movie that drip feed information that by the time we get the grand reveal at the end, you're sort of awestruck at all the little bits of moments of intrigue. So like the perfect example of it is the bullet holes in the pool.
Yeah.
And then she falls and cracks her head and bleeds, and then the pool fills up with blood. And you're like, what's the meaning of that? I don't understand. But then when we get the flashback sequence at the end and you see it was used as a mass executioner pit, you're like, oh, that's really fucking awesome, man.
I like the flashbacks as well, because the flashbacks, this movie's really hard. You can't talk about this movie in a linear way because it jumps all over the fucking place. It jumps to this crew member there, that crew member there, back to 1962, back to the boat. But yeah, the flashbacks, they tell a story of these people who poison all the passengers after they've done the wire and decapitated fucking everyone. Then they go to steal the gold that they don't explicitly say it, but all the markings are rubbed off. It's Nazi gold. I know it's Nazi gold.
I know it's Nazi gold.
So they've come to steal that, and they do like they gun down all the passengers. There's one bit in this that's really fucking dark.
But again, the thing is though, that we learned that the captain stole the gold in the first place.
Yeah.
He stole the gold from the Arcadia and then brought it onto his ship, barring the survivor that was Ferryman. And then again, the new boat cycled it all around again. One thing I want to talk to you about with the flashback that I didn't like, and it made me feel really, really uncomfortable, and I don't know why they chose to do it. Did they rape the little girl? Is that what? That's what they
Yeah,
were insinuating, weren't they?
that's what I was just about to say. That bit is fucking dark, and I didn't
It's
expect it.
really, really dark, man. To the
It
point
is.
where they don't say it, but like the reaction from the little girl actress, because that's what's really cool about it, is like she takes the main lead girl from ER and she's like, I have something to show you. And she taps on her and does like this ghostly thing. And then that's how it all starts to play out. We get to see what she experienced the first time around. And it's cool because she's there as well, watching
Yeah.
it with her. So she's watching her own experience of how shit went south with the ghost ship. And it's when they get to taking her into that room and you just see the sheer terror and panic on her face, and you're like, oh no. And not only that though, but we find out that she killed herself as well. She hung herself. So
Yeah.
they didn't even kill her in this moment in the room. These two fully grown men took this poor little child into that room to the point where she was so traumatized by her experience she chose to hang herself.
It's really dark, and the thing is, it's so subtle in the way they do it. They don't make a thing of going, this is what happened to her. They give you just enough, because even when she relives it, like it flashes to Ghost Girl now, and even Ghost Girl's like wincing away and like
Yeah, and
she's
can't even
scared.
watch.
Yeah, it's fucking awful, and it's something that's really strong and really dark that doesn't fit the rest of the tone of this movie. And
No.
it's a strange choice. I don't know why they put it. It's very much in the same vein as the tree rape scene from The Evil Dead. It's something that doesn't quite fit where it is.
I think the thing is like this movie was very much marketed at a younger teenage audience when it came out. And I think it was one of those subtle undertones that was there for the adult audience to witness. But those of a younger age who were just there to see a slocky ghost movie in the cinema probably wouldn't have picked up on the meaning of what that scene was trying to portray. And I think that's probably why they got away with doing what they did.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The other bit in the flashback that I thought was fucking cool, because it was a nod to Black Christmas, is where Ferryman kills the lady in red with the fucking hook.
Yes.
Like,
Very cool kill
hook
sequence.
her in the neck, winch you up. Like, that was awesome. I really like all the flashback stuff, all the stuff. It's like watching clips of the Titanic. If the Titanic hadn't sunk, it had just been massacred instead. It's like that.
By Nazis. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think these guys are Nazis? Because I think they are.
I do, yeah. Well, no.
Are they reclaiming?
I'm just putting the logic in my head of whether they work for Ferryman, but obviously they don't. Ferryman works alone. But I do feel like, yeah, because the gold belongs to the Ferryman. That's his way of luring these people in to take it. So I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just people from the previous ship who were tempted. Or no, maybe it's the gold itself. Because it says as well, there is a subtle conversation in this movie where they start fighting against each other and bickering against each other, and it's because they're in the presence of the gold. So maybe I'm thinking it's the gold that is the influence. I mean, they did very much behave like fucking Nazis, but I don't necessarily, now I'm thinking about it, I don't necessarily think they are. I think they're just crew members who have been tainted by the aura of the gold being in their presence. Do you know, he says, because again, this is it. It's just fucking unloading so much right now. He has a conversation, the ferryman. The whole reason he can't kill the main character is because she's lived a life without sin. Yeah. And he's saying, I can't kill you because you don't have any sin. So obviously all the people who he did turn were people who were part of the boat, were obviously sinful people with on board of the crew that were easily influenced. So no, I think it kind of throws the Nazi thing out the window now. Yeah, no, I'm piecing it together.
Which crazily, like you and me, we'd be easy targets for Ferryman. I've sinned, you've sinned, we'd be fucked.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah. I don't particularly like the way they use, is it Munda and whoever, Carl Urban and the other guy. Like, not a lot happens to them. They have the moment where they hallucinate the giant tin of beans from 1964.
It was like the reverse Lost Boys.
It was. They're just there munching away. He's like, what made me laugh as he takes a big spoonful and it's just baked beans. He's like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever tasted. And Lisa Terra went, they don't have baked beans in America. And I was like, I don't think that's it, love. She's like, no, that's what it is. They just don't have baked beans. Like that's how an American reacts to having baked beans for the first time.
Yeah, I think so. There's a reason it's a staple in our society. But that just reminded me another cool thing as well is when they find the digital watch. And I didn't pick up on it. It's like, you don't get it, do you? It's like, they didn't have digital watches in 1966. Like, someone else has been here before us.
The thing is, they're already dismissive of stuff like that. Like, even the captain makes me laugh. He's very much like, well, it's finders keepers, it's all ours all the way through. And then when they're like, oh, we found a digital watch, he's like, yeah, shit happens. Fucking people have been here before us. Like, they didn't find what we found. Suck it up. Who gives a fuck? Let's get out of here. What bugs me is they find the gold and they're adamant they're going to leave. Like, they're going to go, we got the gold. We don't need to fuck around now. Let's get the gold on the boat and leave. And then they decide to stay the night. Like, it's like,
but they don't get the gold, do they? As they're trying to load the gold onto the boat, that's when their ferry boat blows up.
Yeah, but even before they get to that, they're like, oh, let's stay the night. We'll sort all the gold out in the morning. We'll stay the night here. I was like, why would you do that? Like, you've had some weird shit.
You don't know what time of day it is, man. They could be like they might have been at this 17 hours already. It's a fucking heavy crate to lift up whatever deck they're on. I think they're quite low down in the cargo deck. So they've got to take that right the way up to the top of the boat to be able to get it onto the crane to then ferry it back down onto the tugboat. Like, it's a feat. It's manual labor. You know what I mean? They might have been trying to salvage this boat for 20 hours plus already without a nap.
Yeah, there is that, but I think you'd be on a high after you found $320 million worth of gold. I think the adrenaline in my system would be so high, I'd be like, nah, fuck it. Don't worry about it. Let's do it now. Let's get it all on the boat. And once it's all on the boat, we'll have a kip on the boat as we tug away. Fuck the shit. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, no. I mean, like I say, it's one of those, like, there is exceptional parts of the writing throughout this movie that really piece a plot together and have some fantastic reveals. But again, there are moments throughout like this, as you say, that kind of are questionable. This being one of them, the girl turning, the singer lady turning into an old woman being another one of them. So I don't know. I think you've kind of got to pick and choose your battles with this movie of what you want to take away from it and what you don't.
I think the director watched Event Horizon, and wouldn't that be cool if it was on a boat? Because it is exactly the same. It's a close-knit crew that discovers a famous lost ship that's disappeared mysteriously. The crew is killed off by the haunted ship one by one, while one of the crew members turns crazy and wants everyone to stay on the boat while the other person wants to leave.
It's the same.
It's exactly the same.
Event Horizon is better, though. I will say that.
Yeah, Event Horizon is better. Ferryman's reveal is kind of interesting. So, like, it all starts unraveling, and you get Epps is like, "Oh, you stay on." To Ferryman, you stay up here with the other guy who shall remain unnamed, the blonde guy. I don't know his name. Yeah. And she like gives him a gun. Like, "Oh, you stay with them. I'm going to check on the others." And it just kind of all devolves from here. Like, Ferryman takes him out. The guy downstairs gets mangled in the most horrific way when he's diving in that water. Like, that is awful.
Yeah, you say that. You say it as if it's all come about really abruptly, but we've already had the flashback scene by this point. So the lead female girl knows that he is him, but she doesn't. She does a really cool ploy of not letting on to him. She doesn't let Ferryman know that she knows, and she makes Ken, I'm going to call him Ken because he looks like a Ken Barbie doll.
He does, Ken, yeah.
So Ken, she's like, "Oh, Ken, don't take your eyes off him. You stay with him at all times. You stay together." And he kind of knows what she's getting at by this. But then when the ferryman actually reveals himself to Ken, and he's like, "You despise me, you despicable."
He goes
really cool.
He goes full fucking like that Louis Theroux documentary Manosphere is out.
I haven't watched it yet. Me and Emma watch it tomorrow night. So no spoilers.
I won't tell you anything, but this guy, this ferryman goes full on fucking Sigma male. You fucking weak man. You need a strong man. I'm fucking disgusted with you. I'm like, dude, but he's like, you
Desmond Harrington fucking nails it, man. This dude is incredible in this role.
He nails it. But yeah, as I was watching it, I'm like, oh, like he's one step away from calling him a little cuck. That's how bad he is when he's having a go at him. He's like proper like, you let a woman tell you what to do and you just
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
I'm like, I'm watching it and I'm going, well, yeah, that's pretty much the life for most married men.
Yep.
And
yep.
we do that not because we're weak, but we do that because we understand that's how we keep harmony in our lives.
And also how we have sex. So you do what you've got to do to get by, unfortunately.
That's what I was saying that just without saying it. Like
Oh,
harmony.
right. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not as subtle as you are, unfortunately.
Clearly not.
One
yeah,
thing I will say that's really fucking probably the best in this movie is Kendall comes rushing in to the final girl, although by this point he's already dead. And it's actually the ferryman. The fucking CGI of the transformation of Ken turning back into the ferryman. I was like, how the fuck did you do this back when you did it? Because that still looks better than most of the Marvel like super suit, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Venom transformation scenes that I've ever seen. I was like, that was seamless. Bravo, guys.
Yeah, effects in this all the way through are on point. I also love the fact that Epps doesn't cave, she doesn't sin, she doesn't shoot him, and she just blows the ship to all fucking hell, sinks it, releases all the spirits fly away. You get this bit where
that was a bit corny, I'll be honest with you. The music that accompanied it and the visuals that went with it. The visuals look great, but it was almost a bit like Casper. All right, Disney, calm down.
It was a little bit Casper.
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Yeah, as they all escape. And like she's rescued for another cruise ship and she's been put in an ambulance. And this is where we get that amazing scene. As she's in the ambulance, you see all these guys walking on with crates of gold, and you see her going, "That's the fucking gold. That's the fucking gold." And then Ferryman walks around the corner and just catches it, gives her a smile and gives her a wink and gets on the boat. I'm like, oh man. Like, would you take a sequel to this?
No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would because I love this movie for what it is. You know what I mean? Like I think it's so impactful as it is, and having that ominous conclusion to its story of knowing this is just a repeated cycle. Like we don't need to see the repeated cycle because we've seen it done here already. You know, anything that they could do, I don't feel like there's any point in the story that needed fleshing out, or I needed to learn more, or I needed to know, you know, all I would be getting would be the same movie again, but with just a different group of characters. And I don't feel like that would in any way benefit the story of the original Ghost Ship.
No, see, the only way I think it would work is if it was Epps trying to get back on the boat to take Ferryman down again. That's the only way it works.
Like a Descent kind of thing, where it was Descent 1, then immediately into Descent 2.
Yeah, where she basically goes, "Fuck, I need a tugboat," goes straight out to the cruise ship, gets on board. That would work, but anything
that would be in that sense. But again, it's Hollywood, isn't it? And it's very rare that we do get that kind of opportunity in movies. And I think they would just go with a completely new, different type of characters. Ferryman would probably be recast because they wouldn't have had the budget to be able to bring Desmond Harrison back. It would have weakened everything that was established in the first movie, in my opinion. And my mind just knows that this is a never-ending cycle and I don't need to see it reoccur again.
Yeah, no, I really like this. I'm sticking with my score of 3.5. I think it has got flaws, but I do really enjoy it. I think everyone who hates on this, and there's a lot of people, which I genuinely didn't realize. I was shocked when people were hating on it in the comments. Like, if you hate this and you're adamant that this is a shit movie, go and rewatch it, because I genuinely think you've not seen it in a long time and you're going to rewatch it and go, actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not changing my score either. I think 4's more than fair. I would like to score it a little bit higher. I'm tempted to go to a 4.5 because I do enjoy this movie so much. But again, I can't bring it to that high of a score purely because of the fact that I don't think it's something that can be frequently rewatched. You know, I think it needs to have time to breathe before you go back in again. If this was a movie that I would love that much that I'd be like, yes, I can watch this every 6 months or every year, I would probably go up to a 4.5 with it. But I know the fact that it only holds the score as high as a 4 for me is because I give it that chance to breathe before I go back in again. So I'm going to stick with a 4, but I will say strongly that if you are one of those people who are kind of bashing on Ghost Ship and not really being on board, pun intended, with it. I think you definitely need to give it another chance.
Yeah, I agree. We have voicemails.
I like your boobs.
We have one voicemail, in fact.
Been a
So let's play. It has been a while. And I'll be honest, we got this voicemail about 10 minutes before we hit record. So it's fresh, hot off the presses. Here we go.
Look, I have so much to say about this movie. I'm just about done with the episode. We were having breakfast in between me listening. But, Scott, I don't know why you don't ask me to come on and do a bonus stuff. Like, I am your other co-host. And we could have gladly worked it out. I could have made something work, damn it. I could have talked y'all under the table with this film. You know I love this movie. It's so good. I give it a 100 out of 100. Like, y'all are crazy. Like, it doesn't even matter about the quality of the film. Yes, the budget's $4. But, like, it's so good. And also, I wanted to add that, like, Courtney's... The back and forth with all the dream sequences, I always laugh because Mark's always like, oh, follow it. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's not really meant to be that deep and thoughtful. Also, all it is like the downfall of her mental health, right? So she's kind of losing it. She's kind of losing it throughout the movie. That's Stevie. She's losing it too. But anyway, she's basically just losing her grip with reality. And so, like, the driller killer, can't even talk, is coming out as like a manifestation of the PTSD and just kind of all the issues that she had and seeing her sister be attacked and et cetera, et cetera. So it's not hard to follow. That's all it is. It's like every time you see her, she's kind of going cuckoo bananas, basically. And then at the end, it's like, yeah, she's kind of the one that ends up in the mental institution because, like, she's lost her mind. That's the way I interpret it. Anyways, the next time you fucking do a movie that is cool as fuck like this, and I swear to God, on God right now, okay? If y'all do Granny and don't ask me to be on that episode, I will quit the True Crime Podcast. I think I'm being very serious. Like, okay, I'm going to calm down. But seriously, don't leave me out on fun stuff. I have FOMO. Anyway, bye.
Unfortunately, I did already promise that episode to Beck, I think.
I think we should have them all on. Everyone when Granny
everybody who's been championing Granny for the past sort of like 5 years with me.
We'll just have everyone on, and I'm gonna give a spoiler now. Granny is coming.
Yeah, too right, man. That movie's fucking awesome. I can't wait to talk about it.
It's gonna happen. Also, everyone make sure if you're listening to this episode the week it is released, go to Instagram, go and find Wednesday Wine and Horror, and send her a message to say happy birthday.
Is it Heather's birthday release week? Because we're quite far in front right now.
Yeah, it's Heather's birthday release week. So when this comes out, it's Heather's birthday. So go and wish Heather happy birthday. That's what
happy birthday, Heather, if you're listening.
Happy birthday to you. We'll have you on soon. Stop fucking moaning. We love you too.
And also, by the way, that episode wasn't bonus content. That was our Slumber Fighter Massacre 2 episode. You're only thinking it's bonus content because you're listening to it on Patreon. Because you've got early access. Look at the benefits.
Exactly. That's much better than the advert you done earlier.
I felt like I had to redeem myself from earlier.
Yeah. 3-word review where we asked you to review the movie in 3 words only. We had a few this week. It's one of those movies that there's not a huge amount that you can say about this in 3-word review. Bite 19 on TikTok. It's okay. Bite 19, you need to go rewatch it. Big Wah, meh, except opening. Big Wah, you also need to go and rewatch it. Over to Instagram, Nate Mayer, amazing set design. Yes. Yeah, and stupidly, I tried to find production information about the sets. There's very little. Like, some of this was filmed on a bit of a cruise ship. Some of it was done on set, but there's very little information. There's hardly any behind the scenes photos either. It's really weird. That
is strange usually, because especially with something that is so incredibly done on such a scale that it is, there isn't any point in this movie where I was like, that looks like it's done on a soundstage. You know, like it all looks that authentic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there isn't like videos and behind the scene footage glorifying how well they did did the job of making this movie. You know, that's what you tend to find with movies like this, where it has like got really good set designs. They like to have it on the bonus DVD of like, ooh, we did it like this because this is super.
Do you know that's one place I haven't checked? My DVD's right there. I haven't checked my DVD, but I didn't find much online. Skellington fan went with underrated, brilliant masterpiece. Kate went with side-splitting fun. Jay went with overhated movie. Mark K. Ramone went with This Isn't Titanic. And one enthusiastic horror fan official actually knew the name of the band who hits that music at the end, which is fucking awesome. And he put fucking Mudvayne slaps.
Nice. I didn't know, but I knew it was like an era thing. I was like, yeah, I'm down with this.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Let's play a game. Are you up for a game? How you feeling about a game?
Always game for a game.
Okay.
Oh shit! A ghost!
We're going to play a game of knowledge of ships, ghost ships specifically,
yes, which we've already established. I'm very well versed in.
Yeah, you're an expert and you have excellent sea legs. I have a list of ship names.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's 3 types of ship names I have.
Yep.
I have names of real ghost ships from the real world. I have names of ghost ships that only appear in works of fiction, either books or movies. And I have ghost ships that I have fully fucking made up that do not exist. So all you need to tell me is if it's real, fiction, or fake.
Well, they're all obviously fiction, so let's bend the rules a little bit. Well, there is no such thing as a real ghost ship, so let's
real ghost ships are real ships that are found that have no fucker on them. They're just floating in the ocean.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, so
I'm gonna do so badly at this game.
You're gonna do terrible. Real, fake, or fiction? The Mary Celeste
is real only because that name is something that shit. No, hold on. I've just understood the ground rules of the game. The Mary Celeste. I think that's a real ship and not something that I can put my brain to put in with a novel or a movie or anything.
No, that is real. That is the greatest of all time when you're talking about ghost ships. It was found in 1872 in the Azores with the lifeboat missing, but the cargo and all the booze on board untouched. So they just abandoned ship and there's no reason why. The ship was fine. All of the cargo was fine. Just all of the crew went, nah, fuck this, we're out, and just left.
Ghosts,
yeah. The SS Knickers.
That's made up, surely.
That is made up. That is my one.
That is your childish humor.
It is
to a point.
The Kaz 2.
I feel like that's something that is like from a sci-fi story or book or movie or something. I feel like that's fiction.
It's not. That one's real. That is a ghost yacht. It was found off the coast of Australia in 2007.
Fucking hell, man. A ghost yacht.
Yeah, it was found off the coast of Australia in 2007.
Ghost raft next. Do you know what I mean?
The engine was running, a laptop was on, and dinner was set on the table, but the 3 main crew had vanished into thin air and were never found.
Well, no, what happened was they basically went for a swim, and in doing so, they all got eaten by sharks.
That's possible, which, again, still makes it a ghost boat. The Event Horizon.
Right. Again, establish ground rules within your game, because it's not a ship that floats in the ocean, but it's a spaceship.
Is it a ship? It's a ship.
It's a spaceship, yeah. So it's fiction.
It is fiction. It's technically a spaceship. The ghost ship from the movie of the same name. The Flying Dutchman.
I think like this is fake or like something out of The Simpsons. Like the Flying Dutchman is such an iconic thing that people automatically assume with boats, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what the Flying Dutchman is. Apart from maybe, I think there's like a few restaurant chains called the Flying Dutchman nowadays.
There is. So do you think it's fake, real, or fiction?
If it's an established restaurant chain, I feel like there must be something real behind it. So I'm going to say real.
It's fiction. It is a legend. There's no proof of the Flying Dutchman, and it's been used in all sorts of media like Pirates of the Caribbean. And yes, there is a restaurant chain as well. The Antonio Graza.
Why does that name ring a bell? Is that like the director of this movie? And you're just really fucking with me in this game?
No. It's a ship.
Right. Okay. Oh, well, then if it's an actual ship, then I know it's not something you've made up. So I have a 50-50 choice between fact or fiction. I'm going to say fact.
It's fiction. It's the Italian luxury cruise liner from the 2002 movie Ghost Ship.
And the thing is, I got the Arcadia as well earlier on. No, Arcadia is not even right either. That's from the Resident Evil movies where they all go salvage on that. That's what the Arcadia is.
Fucking hell.
I'm
Right.
terrible at my job. I'm sorry, guys.
You got a couple more. The Black Rock.
Real?
No, this one is fiction. It's the 19th century slave ship found inexplicitly sitting in the middle of the jungle in the TV series Lost.
Oh, that is one of the most dreadful shows ever to exist.
Well, I liked it. The Bachimio.
Bachimio. I'm just going real every time at the moment because I feel like I've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. So I'm going to say real.
That is real. It's a cargo steamer that was abandoned in 1931 in the ice. It didn't sink. It spent 38 years just wandering the Arctic on its own, just floating wherever like a phantom ghost. So loads of ships after that, like we're talking like in the 1970s, 1960s, 1970s, were in the Arctic doing expeditions, and all of a sudden this fucking ship would just float past and off into the mist.
That's creepy as fuck, isn't it?
It
Surely
really-
that can't be much of a thing these days with the technology we have. You can't get many ghost ships going around.
It still does happen, but they tend to be found quicker. But yeah, you do still get abandoned ships just bobbing around in the ocean. The HMR Yerp.
Europe. That's, that if that's not you doing a Hot Fuzz reference, then you're fucking with me. I know that for a fact. That's not real.
It's not real. It's the HMR Horror Movie Review, YRP, Yerp, You Run podcast.
Oh, clever. I thought you were doing the whole Europe from Hot Fuzz thing.
Got one more for you. It is the Demeter.
If you pronounce it right, it's a Demeter, and that's the ship that Dracula comes in.
It is the ship that Dracula comes in. It is pronounced Demeter.
No,
Demeter.
it's not. Don't fucking start with me. It's the Demeter.
It is, and that is our game, which leads us lovely into Mark's favourite time of the show. It is the VHS hunt.
He's the king of the spool, the lord of the stack. If it's on magnetic tape, there's no turning back. From the floor to the ceiling, he's a mastermind hoarder, keeping analog alive on the edge of the border. Rewind, right under the static flip. It's Mark, VHS from the crypt.
This ship is going down!
So obviously this week it's going to be nothing other than Ghost Ship. I do own this on VHS and it's a fantastic copy as well. One thing that I particularly love about this, and there's only a few in my collection that have this, is the color of the tape. Look at that beautiful blue VHS tape. How awesome!
Oh
is
wow, I love things like that. It's the same when I find DVDs that actually have a picture on them and they're not just silver.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool. I love it. I have a few tapes in my collection that do have varying color. I think the 2 follow-up Matrix movies from the original's black as standard.
Are they green?
The what?
Are they green?
No, they're blue, the same as this, unfortunately. In terms of color variation, Fright Night's red. Fright Night's a red tape, which is awesome. And my Candyman tape is black, but the flap is red and it has Candyman printed on it, which is fucking really cool. So hopefully we get the opportunity to talk Candyman so I can showcase that at some point. But yeah, this is my rental copy of Ghost Ship. I love this tape. And again, not just because it's blue, but because it's an awesome fucking movie. So check it out.
I've got the DVD behind me, which I now need to go and check bonus features for when we do
You
reels.
do for real purposes.
Yeah. Make sure you go and follow Mark. He is at VHS from the Crypt on Instagram and at Reviews from the Crypt. If you love anything, like anything that existed technology wise that no longer exists, Mark is the place for you to go. Go and check him out. It's really good that you support him as well as the show. And that is it for this week. Yeah, so take your instructions, go and follow Mark. And that brings us to next week's episode, which at the moment is still currently being polled as we're recording this. It's either The Faculty or Hostel.
Two very, very solid movies. And it's my poll pick of the month as well, which I don't get the opportunity to do very often. And a lot of you might be wondering, well, this seems like a pretty straight-laced poll pick for Mark. He hasn't picked the usual weird shit that he normally picks. The reason being is because I wanted to pick movies that haven't had the opportunity to be on the show yet. We haven't covered a lot of franchises much. Texas Chainsaw being one of them, and I didn't manage to put them in the poll this month, but I just thought I'd go with movies that are really heavy-hitting and franchises that we haven't even dipped a toe into yet. Hence why you're finding Faculty and Hostel being in the final this month.
Yeah. And then after Mark's week, it's going to be my poll week. So make sure you head over to Instagram because, my God, Mark went there. I'm going to do all the right things that I should do to get lots of listeners. And I'm doing all the wrong things. Like,
it weren't even necessarily for the listeners' benefit. It was more because I was like, right, well, we haven't done that on the show. Maybe if we get one of that off the franchise on the show, that will then boost us up to do like Hostel 2 and Hostel 3 and some of the other stuff that I put in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're not getting that from me. You're just getting absolute like balls to the wall. I want to do this movie because it's dumb.
All right, I want to repick my polls.
But that's it until next week. So thank you very much for joining us. Apologies that I've not been on top form tonight. I'm not feeling great, but hey ho. Thanks very much. And you're so unsympathetic.
Oh mate, honestly, dude, you are just whiny. I don't know how Lisa puts up with you. You've got the sniffles, man. At
least I show up when I have a cold, unlike you who just fucking sicks it off and goes, oh,
nah, the thing is, mate, if I'm ill, you know it's bad. Like, you know, like I'm making funeral arrangements. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm ill, it's bad. 9 times out of 10, I just move differently. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll adjust my body to deal with the situation, and that's how I get by.
You're built different. On that note,
built different. I'm built different, and I just adapt. You know, if I've got a real bad cold or like, I broke my leg, I'll just walk differently to make sure that I can make things work.
And on that note, we'll see you all next Tuesday.
Au revoir.
You want to die tonight?
You're on podcast. You're on podcast. Late at night, I tune into your show where you talk horror with a unique flow. Your voice is like sirens, draws me in as you pick apart movies on murder and sin. Scott and Mark set the scene. I hang on every word, lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Mark's fucking long round ups. Round up, round up, round up, round up, round up. You're on podcast, horror movie review, sharing facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after you fled.
I like
You're on podcast.